Alright, you want to see a city grow fast? Then you're in the right place. My name is Ibu, hello. I already played this run and now I'm re-recording it with a split timer to submit it to speedrun.com because that's how you deal with your records today in these days. First things first, it's much easier talking about this stuff when you're not playing. Let past Ibu do his stuff. And I'm looking what I like and what I don't like. So in the top right corner we got a timer, and I took the time to take out the splits from Pro Gamers World Record with 57 minutes and 44 seconds, which we are beating today. And in the meantime, nothing groundbreaking. First row of streets, connection to the highway, electricity and water, support for the first citizens. What I don't like and not supporting is we are missing electricity support in the north. These people are crying for energy, but past Evo is ignoring it. Okay. I mean, he got stuff to do, but that's just blind. As a result, we can see +2 negative population growth. That's a bad start, but I don't care too much. It's a very, very long speedrun, running City Skylines for all milestones, 50 minutes, other maps, up to 1 hour. There can go so much right and wrong later on. But this is a bad start. You don't want negative population growth in the first 1 to 2 minutes. But yeah, never mind. I finished 7 runs, and increased my time a little bit with a lot of them. This is my best run, that's why I'm submitting it. I mean, there were a lot of more runs, but didn't finish them, and that's my credo. Why I'm not so mad about the bad start. That can happen so much later on. So first milestone, first loan, micromanagement of the budget, and we built our first support super buildings, education, high school, and the education, high school, and the healthcare center. And I'm always trying, not to click on Twitter, I'm always trying to build these buildings in the empty areas of the green, low residential areas to support the population growth there. Nothing special, but a mantra you will see through the whole run. If there are new buildings, we will build them in the corners of the empty areas. I think the time we lost with the first split, we are taking with us up until 20,000 citizens. But the game is sometimes very, very strange in a way that you getting your mistakes erased later on. That you get much more growth in the later game when you are not playing perfectly in the early game. If I can formulate it. Yeah, that's good formulation. Okay, yeah, I can live with that. So, next milestone. Police department, fire department. Second loan. And stretching the whole green area to the east. And a bit to the north. I like it. Yeah, you usually want to expand in the direction of the highway. So these zones are growing much faster than the zones in the south. There's a bit of traffic to come to. Oh, short coffee break. Yeah, nice micromanagement with the budget. I think I was missing increasing of taxes in these runs. I usually do it. The game starts with 9% for all areas, and the low commercial and the industry areas, I think you can push them to up to 13%. I used in some runs, and I don't mind the downtimes when I'm broke, but if these downtimes are coming a little bit later because I got so much more money, that would be helpful. So, next milestone, high school, and the lovely use of plazas. They're only costing 1,000 and are my favorite support building for stretching in every direction. Support, support, support. If you're asking yourself, how is he switching so fast from category to category or building to building? I pretty much keybinded every building to something for my left hand. Start with 1, 2, 3 with the water, electricity, and the roads, and from 4 to 0 all the zones. I mean, it's a speedrun after all, it's much faster, and next to the WASD you got all the education, healthcare, garbage, police, fire. It takes a bit of time to get used to shortcuts, but really saves time. Mostly later on, when you got so much money that you only want to support the barren areas. I have to be honest. I mean, I'm pre-planning the whole city in my head for all the milestones, but there's a lot of individualism in these runs. I don't dig that I'm supporting the south. I would rather supported the north. But it is what it is. Now he's finishing it. What I said earlier, I much more like to expand on the highway side and later on to the water side when you expand to all areas just to finish the 65,000 to come to Megalopolis. Nice, second high school. Education, as it is one of the two best support buildings. Healthcare, first or second, the other one. At least the north. At least, long wait, no see. Let's make a tally for every time I'm butchering English. But in my defense, I'm not slicing and dicing this through audio. Mistakes can be made. Yeah, no tricks involved in this speedrun. A whole lot of execution. Not taking any break. And always trying to use all support buildings for all citizens in one area if you got the money. And that's a bit early. This money could be spent much more better than supporting water. I think it could handle it with a budget. But never mind. Yeah, I was watching Programmer's world record, and we can see he has a much better start in his run. But in the late game, if I remember correctly, he had a lot of 300, 400 people growth spurt. And I think I can top this in this run, because my north settlement I'm building later on grows much more faster than his whole city. But also there's a problem that if you got a better PC, the game runs much faster in the late game. That's why I am comparing in-game days also to the fastest time. And if I'm not beating him in in-game days, I'm not considering it a record, even if it's faster. I made a whole video about that issue last year. It's a bit of a problem if you want to speedrun City Skylines for times. I mean, you can compare against your own times, but it's a bit difficult to compare against other PCs and other players. But it's still a lot of fun to play for me for fastest time. So here we are. I love the highway support in all my runs. It's my only recipe against all the traffic which is occurring, because I'm not building any round circles or traffic support areas, if you call it that way. Ooh, brutal. Losing a lot of time against Pro Gamer in the early game. Again, I think he's missing the signals for energy problems in the north. But yeah, in his defense, he got so much to do. Usually if I see money on the table, I'm trying to build stuff for the people. That's why I'm missing some stuff like that. Okay, he heard me. Slope too steep. Reading comprehension. Preparing myself for the next milestone. The most interesting one. With 6,500 you get the high residential areas. That's where the game really starts, number-wise. Yeah, nothing magical about adding these zones. If I see that there some demand and one of these areas is pretty full or full, slope too steep, reading, then I'm building a new area in that way. And if there's no demand for industry or commercial, or pretty much loaded empty zones for that demand, then I'm building low residential areas. Okay, preparing everything for the next milestone, where where we are not only getting high residential areas, but also high commercial and office zones. A lot of incoming clicking. And there comes the keybind, or there are coming the keybinds very much in handy. Because I want to switch all the low residential into high residential. And I can't imagine doing that with clicking on the monitor and not using 4 and 5 to switch between the zones. Oh. Small mistakes were made. Yep, check it off. Oh, here we go. The big switcheroo. If you're asking yourself what's happening if you're clicking on building, yep, these people are moving out. A little bit of aiming. For now, I didn't have a misclick. And he's stopping the switcheroo. Oh yeah, remember. I wanted to build a university, but I didn't have the money. You usually want to build all the buildings from the moment on they are possible to build. But what can you do? I got no money and a lot of expansion plans. So I decided, let's build a university later on. But I really hope there's a lot of more switching going on the left side. Oh, we will see. Ooh, big mistake. Okay, it was behind my splitter, but I just misclicked myself to text race for high residential areas. Usually I want to use the text relief. Some letters wrong and big mistake. I don't know what's this about this run. Maybe I'm using the money I'm making extra from this policy so that I'm not beating my time. But usually I want to use the text relief, yeah. That's a bit of a surprise for later on. Beautiful. Switch it. And now he's just building stuff for building stuff's sake. Yep. Excellent. I think the south is finished. And really, I have to repeat myself. There's time for a lot of more switching. Ah, you can take it. lovely north extension. Yeah, that's the benefit if you're running the map a lot more than one time. First off, I started with spreading my whole city south of the highway up to the most eastest point, but I remembered missing a lot of population in the late game. That's why I decided I needed a second kind of town for the late game. The question is always, when do you start it? I think it's a good point from the 10,000 population mark, because I got enough money when I'm not missing electricity demands. I'm pretty confident that's the difference for later on, when I'm beating pro gamers record with in-game days and with the time. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but there's a little bit of growth in the north. And later on, the winning citizens, okay. You know where I'm getting at. It's a big difference in growth. Oh. Electricity solved. Time for more expansion. That I remember that one. If you don't repair your water system on the west side of your town, in the late game they are drinking their own waste. It's the placement of the pipes and the waste pipes. It's only for the early game. Ooh, you could have seen it. I mean, I saw it. Tax race. But all in all, I have to say the whole policy stuff, I mean, they are very, very good policies. Education boost, what I said earlier, education and health are the two most important support things for your citizens. It only plays a minimum part in the whole city growth. A lot of randomness in the whole city growth department. So next milestone, ooh, 1 minute 20. Over pro gamer, boom, but smiley faces. Finally, the university. A little bit low on money. Missing the tax rates in the early game. Will we're missing it altogether. Next milestone is my favorite one. With 17,000 you get the 200,000 last credit, or the class loan. That's the point where I can build anything everywhere. And I think that's boosting my city the most. And I missed a lot of switcheroo. There's still a lot of low residential. That's a big minus for this run. Oh, the good old garbage facility reflex. Yeah, 6 to 1, 72 million to 12 million collected. If I can, I like a 10 to 1 ratio in capacity to the garbage, which... Oh, what using? 10 to 1 ratio for place and garbage existing. Space and garbage existing. Never mind, doesn't make it better. Oh, here we go. Super loan. Not only can I build so much high schools as I want, and not only high schools, elementary schools, the cheaper ones, but I can finally build the elder care centers and child care centers, which are usually a big boost. Mostly for the areas which are already populated. I mean, the math is simple. People are getting older, not dying so early, more people getting more children. The math is simple. Yep, 250,000 spent. We can already see a big boost in Citizen. The whole 300 shenanigans, 400. From now on it goes very fast. Yeah, in this one I like the late game much more better than the early game. Supporting with right timing, and I really like the north part of my city, north of the highway. It's city on its own. Always potential for a run killer. These misplacements for streets. I hate it. But on the other hand, you're getting really tired in this part of the run. Yeah, half an hour. That's the first breaking point. When clicking and looking, you don't have so much mount downtime. It's a bit of stressful. That's why these misclicks are coming. nice. 500, 550, 570. Yep, what I said earlier, nothing special, just execution. I mean, if I'm seeing that some citizens are complaining about fire or criminality, now I've got the money to build the support building as fast as possible. But there are not many people complaining. So there's only expanding to do. Same principle, new areas, supporting with a cheap plaza for 1000. If I got enough money, more schools, more healthcare center, and so on. Next milestone. A little bit of time save. Ah, delicious coffee. There's not so much to tell. Doing the same stuff over and over, forgetting the last milestone. But overall, I can say the placement of the roads and the water pipes, not many misclicks. The grinding on your mind if you're placing these wrong and they're not connecting right. Yep, pretty nice. All the borders of the green areas, pretty barren. Much better to support than to expand. Not reason not to build another highway connection. My specialty. It's a good old garbage reflex. Yeah, but now it's working pretty well. I can expand. It's expensive support buildings. Nice placement. Nothing to complain about the late run. Nice. I mean, we have still the tax raise for high residential area. But overall, it's working out. Ooh, pretty big time save. Well, I have to say from that point forward on, a lot of time is saved because I got the better PC. What I promoted earlier, that I made a video about that issue. In the late game, the in-game days differ from PC to PC. But I made sure that it took me less in-game days in this run than to him. His. Where I got my sheet of paper. Ah, here I got it. It took him 1,269 days to complete all milestones, and it takes me 1,220 days. That's 49 days faster, and the time is faster, the in-game days is far faster. Long story, short point. And now we're getting the potential run killer time. I really hate it when these roads are not connecting. Whew, repaired. Or not. Really one killer potential. It makes no difference for the whole town, but it's really grinding. Oh god. Grinding my mind. Come on. Oh. Now I got it, huh? Oh. Wow, that stays between ourselves. Wow. Getting a little bit tired. More notches for my butchering English tally. So much money. I think a budget boost in healthcare, in education, I'm already at 150%. I wouldn't mind, I have to say. So much money lying around. Steady 600 growth. Yep, I dig the late game. Oh, that looks really nice. A lot of open space in the north, open space in the east. When I'm switching between all the support buildings, I'm usually very happy. Yep. Only some minor things I could have done different. And call me boring, but I have to make a strong point again. So in the end, more than 7 minutes I'm taking from his world record. I'm not really representable for the skill or the betterness of my record. Much more connected to my PC, but I made the math. It took me less in-gaze, which is much more better to compare runs. But I have to say it again. He's not 7 minutes behind, he's only a little bit behind. PC related. Nice. Bit of laziness. Could have bulldozed much more buildings. But yeah, I took a long break from the game. I think in the next runs we will see an increase in these segments. Fine. The game is really looking good. I have to repeat myself. Good old garbage reflex. I think in the future I will try to better that record. Under 15 minutes, it just looks so much better. But there are also some other maps I wanted to try. And I prepared you for the big time difference. I mean, my run is starting off, but not so much better in comparison with him's. So rich, yep. Missed the second time to increase the budget for healthcare and for parks and recreation. That's a nice late game boost I'm missing. And I'm still waiting. Nice, the budget increase. And I'm still waiting that he's seeing the tax raise problems. Yeah, that's finally the tax relief for the high residential area, but not in the policies. Ooh, but nice, over 700. These are big numbers on this map. Love it. And hard to replicate. I mean, my other runs had much better starts, but in the late game, I can't compare with this one. That's why this is a record. Nice late game support. Without the money, you're seeing I'm in the red. But we don't care. There's always time for garbage. In the end, my best run. Had fun doing it. Oh, I really need a coffee. Second one. But why not? I can take the time. Can start wishing you a really nice week, a nice month. Stay safe. Stay healthy in the stupid times. It's difficult, but remember, it's difficult for most of the people. So don't worry, it'll be better. Nice, finally some bulldozing. Just for good measure. A little bit of surprise, I don't know the final time for sure. 54, 55, 53 seconds. Oh, and now we're seeing it. It's a tax race. No, not tax race. Ah, only some letters difference. Here we are, super broke, but 65,000 people in the town. Oh, 50 minutes, 3 seconds. Lovely. Let's have a look. Can I spell my own online name? Can he do it? Yes, he can do it. Alright, wish you a good day. I had fun playing it. Hope you had enjoyed watching it. Ciao.